You hear something in the driveway, and the door shuts, and they're walking up to the front door, and they knock, and they say, "Ma'am, it's the Schwans man. I have a meat package you might be interested in." And you're thinking, it's been so long since I've had a meat package. And you find yourself in the driveway in your pajamas, cookie dough smeared all over your face, touching this man's meat package. I spent all my husband's hazardous pay on ground round chuck. Humiliating. Not a good Red Cross message that you want to send. So, you know that point in the deployment where you're finally sleeping through the night, you finally figured out how to use the weed whacker, and that's when the fro calls and says they're coming home. And you go, "Oh shit." Don't freak out. Shave your legs. Go buy some real food for the house. And you know what I'm talking about. I know you've been eating Slim Jim sandwiches. I know all about the deployment diet, I do. But listen, you gotta start curbing your bachelorette ways before they get home so you get in that routine. Let me put it in perspective for you. Ladies, that first morning when my husband was home, I forgot that he was there. I farted so hard, y'all. I rose up out of the bed like the Matrix. I did. I gave him his first flashback. It was horrible. Before he came home, I really did. I needed professional intervention because, I stopped taking care of everybody here on my body. My girlfriends were like, "Girl, you need help. You are nasty. You smell like shame and regret, and it's coming from your armpits." So anyways, they talked me into getting a Brazilian wax. Now, I wanted to go somewhere reputable because that's my pee-pee. So I went to this really great place right outside Maze next to the tattoo parlor called Magic Nails. Where a wonderful Vietnamese woman named Helen said the most encouraging things to me while she ripped large chunks of hair off my labias. Like, "Molly, you beauty!" And, "Molly, your husband will kiss you more down there." Thanks, Helen. Kind of the idea. Just when I started to feel comfortable, Helen asked me to lift my leg. And I felt something warm in a place where I usually feel kind of dirty. And I said, "Helen, what are you doing?" And she said, "It looks like a bunny tail back there." She took my ponytail. Had no buffer. The good news is she did let me keep it, and I turned it into a good luck keychain. So who wants my good luck keychain? Now let me tell you, the last base, there were women going for it. I'm like, "Y'all is nasty." It's just a rabbit's foot. It honestly did not come from my asshole. You're fine. I'm sure it's very lucky. We have to get them from China in bulk, and our cat's getting into them. And so I'll be looking, and then the cat is running through the living room with one of my ass bunny tails in its mouth. I'm like, "Oh, okay." You guys know the rule. When the guys come back from deployment, you're going to be doing a lot of screwing and a lot of scrapping. Am I right? Isn't it so weird why you fight? It's so weird, but okay, so here's the deal. Get the facts about PTSD before they come home. Don't fall for some of the stuff like I did. For instance, taking out the trash does not bring on flashbacks. But some of the fights start with your girlfriends, again, my two surrogate spouses, because you're getting laid again, and I think we get a little catty. But it starts with the gifts. It starts with the gifts, because it's like, "My husband brought me back gold from Bahrain." "My husband brought me back opals from Australia." Then there's the one lady who ruins it for everyone, because her husband brought her back chlamydia from Singapore. That joke at a base. And there was a table full of women, and they all turned and pointed at their girlfriend. How shitty was that? 29 palms. Sleeping in the bed with your husband again is totally weird, am I right? I don't know about you guys, but before my husband went on deployment, like he slept on the right, I slept on the left. He goes on deployment, I'm sleeping in the middle of the bed in an X formation, right? With a couple of dogs and a couple of cats, and if you got him, a couple of kids coming in and out. And then your husband comes home, he's like, where do I sleep? I'm like, I don't know. Down there by the kitten. You've been sleeping in a dugout hole with 50 guys haven't showered in a month. You'll be all right. Shitty. Do I have any pet people here? Where are my pet people? Oh, Lord. You over here. Pet people. If you squeeze this shit while I'm telling jokes, I'll come get your bunny tail. Don't you do it now. But we're crazy about our pets because we don't have any kids yet. So like, our pets are our kids, and we dress up. I dress them up in outfits. I got little sunglasses for them. I ride on my bike. They're in the bike basket. My husband's like 100 yards behind me. Well done. Our cat is so old, we don't need an alarm clock because like every morning he's on my pillow and he wakes me up with this. But you love them, right? Even when they're old. Like you stick with them to the end. And it's so funny because everyone's like, oh my God, Molly, you just have no idea when that baby gets here how 7 pounds is just gonna rule your life. I'm like, oh, I know how 7 pounds is gonna rule my life. Try having a 7-pound poodle that's 14 years old, deaf, blind, incontinent, dementia, walking around your house like a damn pinball. Every time she hits something, she takes a shit. But you love them. You love them so much, and I love my little Coco. And she went blind. I bought her a fucking dog stroller, and I put her, and my husband was humiliated, but I loved her. And I loved her. And listen, we love this dog so much that we hated leaving her. We bought a fucking camper. We bought a fucking camper with trailer trash so that we could take her with us on vacations, and she wouldn't be scared. So we're on one of our camping trips, and we've got Coco, and we've got the other dog, and we're leaving. We're like, okay, Coco, we love you. We're just gonna leave you for 20 minutes. We're just gonna be right back. Here's your dog bed. Here's your cookie. We put on fucking classical music, okay? She's got everything she needs. 7 pounds, blind, bald, a little bit of gristle. We leave for 20 minutes. What could she do, really? We come back, y'all, it looked like an HBO movie prison scene, honey. Shit everywhere, feces. Feces everywhere, all over the walls, little shit paw prints all over my husband's pillow. Y'all, she got on the ceiling, wrote, fuck you. She did. She did. Now the other poodle, y'all are like, that Marina's so gay with these poodles. The other poodle has a name, but my husband just calls him the 6-pound cock block. Be honest, pet people. How many of y'all do it when the pets are in the room? Come on, okay, let's just get it out there. You know what? We do too, but we fight about it. We fight about it because he's like, get the dog, Egg, move the dog. I'm like, oh, come on, he's old. He's sleeping, he's so comfy, he's in his little nest. Let's just do it up here. Let's just do it up by the pillow. It's just gonna take a minute. But you better listen to your husband when he wants those dogs out of the room, because last week the cat got stuck in there. Honey, she saw everything. She would not make eye contact with me for days. I go to kiss her, she's like, do not kiss me with that mouth. I know. Some people fight and it's like, you treat me like a dog. Well, at our house, my husband's like, would you just treat me like the dog? And the truth is if he'd listen as good as the dog, I would treat him like the dog. Now, here's the truth. I do treat him like the dog. And we had to come to Jesus over it, and I told him, I said, listen, I do treat you like the dog. I feed you, I dress you, I pick your shit up all over the house. But if you don't believe me, the next time you come humping on my leg, I'm gonna roll up some newspaper and pop you on the nose. You can't fight normally with a military guy, am I right? Because of the training. And I know what's going on over at that Marine Corps depot, and it sucks, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when you're married to your Marine, and he comes home, and he dumps his utilities on the floor and his boots, you can't say to him, like Dr. Phil says, "I'm sorry, sweetheart. Can we have a face-to-face? I want to tell you how I feel. Because when you leave your utilities on the floor, it makes me feel like you have no respect for the way I keep our house." Do you think he hears that shit? No! You want him to pick his stuff up? Let me tell you what you're gonna do. "Hey, you lazy Marine! You will pick your shit up right now and put it in the hamper! 3, 2, 1, 0! You gotta be a bitch. But we're all adjusting when the guys come back. All of us do weird stuff. Like, okay, so my husband went on deployment, so I got a hobby. And I always encourage women to get a hobby because you're keeping yourself busy. So I took up sewing. But here's the thing. I'm a really shitty sewer. And I had one pattern for a nightgown. But this wasn't like some sexy Kim Kardashian nightgown. This was like something that Honey Boo Boo's mom wears. But my husband came back, and I really wanted him to be proud of me. So it was that first night, and he's in the bed, and he's waiting, and I'm in the bathroom, and I've got this nightgown, and I put it on with the long sleeves. Lace doily up around my neck. Flannel to the floor. I come out of the bathroom and I look at him and I say, "Let's role play. It's 1864 and the war is raging. I found you injured on my father's land. Go with it." He went with it because it had been 7 months and I could have been wearing a potato sack, people. It's come to my attention when you've been married to someone for a long time that sometimes you have to wear things to bed that you're not emotionally comfortable with. And y'all, I'm a good sport. I did it. I went online. I got a pair of them crotchless panties. But I wore them for 3 months before I realized I had them on backwards. What is this hole in the bottom? And it's all roughly fluffy up here. My bunny tail can breathe, though. That's pretty good. Maybe that's why